Good morning, everyone. It's South Stratford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. It's Breaking Dawn. We're here. It's Friday. We got the vibe. We got the Friday feeling. Thank God it's Friday. How you all doing this morning? I hope you're all doing well, enjoying your day wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having a fantastic time and enjoying the elements of life in general. It's really good to see you guys. Really glad you can be here. Good morning, Sanjay. How you doing? Good to see you from lovely Amsterdam. Goodness me, I miss Amsterdam. Why do I miss Amsterdam? Who knows why I miss Amsterdam? I don't really know why I miss Amsterdam, but I just miss Amsterdam. Big up Amsterdam and big up the Amsterdam family, of course, guys. Big up everyone in the chat. Guys, before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video if you guys can kindly do that for me. I'm literally 20 away, around that much, from 4,000 subscribers, guys. 20 away from 4,000 subscribers. So, guys, if you can kindly get that subscription up, if you haven't already, really appreciate it. And spread the word, the Stratford Post word in regards to this channel. And just try and build together, guys. Let's try and get it. I've grown enormously over the last few months, and I have no one to thank but you guys. You guys are the life and soul of this channel, and I thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Big up, Brian. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope everything is fine this lovely Friday. We love Fridays, don't we? We still get that Friday feeling. We're not at school anymore, but we still get that Friday feeling, don't we? I do myself. I do. Every time it's Friday, I'm like, yeah, do you know what? It's Friday. Even if I'm working all the time, no matter what. Now, guys, I'm going to start like this, right? I'm going to start with the rumors that were circulating yesterday about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has basically put himself forward for the Manchester United job if Erik ten Hag gets sacked. Now, look, you know what? We've been through this. You know, we've been through this before in regards to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, let me clear something up firstly. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a legend of Manchester United. He would always be a Manchester United legend. Let's not get it twisted, right? I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He gave me the best moment in my life going to a football match and scoring the winning goal at the Nou Camp. It was an amazing moment for me, an amazing memory, of course, for every single Manchester United fan. But look, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not that guy as a manager. And this is where we got to get it clear, right? Since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer left the club, right, there has been that element of toxicity within the fan base because some people didn't want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as manager. Some people wanted Ole Gunnar Solskjaer manager. Some people were Ole sexuals, as they were saying. Do you know what I mean? Which was disrespectful. But some people wanted him, some people didn't. I myself felt he didn't have the qualities that was needed for the Manchester United job. Great guy, fantastic person, great man manager, but tactically inept, in my opinion. This is why I went against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the first place. Now, that doesn't mean Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can never manage again. He can't manage, he can't improve, of course. But I'm always of the notion that you should never, ever go back, guys. Never go back. If it didn't work the first time, it's not going to work the second time. Unless you're Paul Scholes, it works. You could probably bring Paul Scholes back now and he'd probably perform. Do you know what I mean? But in my opinion, it's never good to go back. And there's a reason that this guy is a former manager of Manchester United. A former. Let's not forget the way it ended. Let's not forget the results we had. Let's not forget the way we bottled things in the final of the Europa League, of course. We have to remember that. Unfortunately, we have a short memory syndrome within the fan base, you know, that they just want a shiny new toy. Or some people were pro Ole as a manager and were proven wrong when he got sacked and now are stubborn and their ego is preventing them from moving on. Either that or they got some sort of affiliation with him or something. As I said, I cannot stress even more. I'm a big fan of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You are my Solskjaer, my only Solskjaer. You make me happy when skies are grey. Alan Shearer is a dearer, but please don't take my Solskjaer away. I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But as a manager, he's not the guy. He's not the guy. And we have to move on from what that was, guys. He loves Manchester United. I love Manchester United. I can't manage Man United. Do you know what I mean? Going on, mate, now. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone from South Africa. Big up the South African family. Big up, David. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you on the stream. Great to see you, mate. Great to see you. Great to see you. Great to see you. Absolutely. Ole loves Manchester. Absolutely mad about since he loves Man United. We love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Everyone loves Man United. You love Man United. I love Man United. The stream loves Man United. We all love Man United, of course. But we can't manage Man United. Man United is bigger than any player, but not forgetting he's a legend. Absolute, David, he is a legend as a player. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will always be a legend as a player. No one will ever stop that. We still sing his songs at the football ground. If you've ever been to Old Trafford, we were singing his songs all the time. After he left the club, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer songs. 20 years later, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer songs. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will always and forever be a legend at Man United. And no one will ever doubt this. No one will ever doubt this. So I don't think Ineos will hire Ole or Scholes, any legend that isn't actively coaching with a decent amount of success. Don't worry, the guys making sporting decisions are competent. Composed view, absolutely composed view from you again, my friend. Very, very true. That is true. Ineos are going into a different direction, and it would contradict what they're trying to build if they did appoint someone like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But the noises yesterday, you know what? Piking up the fans, the fans who were pro Ole at the time, piking them up, talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can do a better job than Erik ten Hag. I stress you this, right? Ten Hag is not without his faults, and I know he's not without his faults, guys. But the one thing I would say is this, right? The amount of problems that Ole Gunnar that Erik ten Hag has had to face during his time at Manchester United has been astronomical. Last season, with the 40-odd centre-back combinations, the 60 injuries, the off-field issues, including Sancho and Anthony and Maguire and Rashford, you know what I mean? Were absolutely crazy. Greenwood were crazy. And he managed to win us a trophy by beating the great Pep Guardiola's Manchester City team. So this is what Bull purchased Erik ten Hag more time this season, in my opinion. This is what gave him the keys to have this season, the first half of this season, at least. And this is how I would say it. Yes, we get angry. Yes, we get frustrated. I get frustrated all the time, in regards to some games, and I say things I don't mean, but I'm frustrated. I want the club to win. I want us to do well. This is the whole point of it. Mad Event says, I became a media hater after the propaganda against Ole. Can I say something, Mad Advanced? There was no propaganda against Ole. Ole was well loved by the media. It was partly to do with toxic fans out there. There were some toxic fans who were giving him abuse. Now, I was not a fan of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a manager. Constructively, I was not a fan of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a manager. As a person, as a former player, he will always be a legend. A legend. Listen, I've been a Man United fan a very long time, nearly 40 years, right? I remember when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer played his debut against Blackburn Rovers in a 2-2 draw. I remember when he signed for Man United. I was like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? I was like that, and he became a legend at Man United. And you know what? He never complained. He never moaned. He just got on with it. Even if he was on the bench the majority of the time, he got on with it and he scored goals. I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But as a manager, he's not that guy. He's not that guy. Perhaps you can bring him in the club in some sort of capacity as a guy who could be more like a personal mentor to some players, something like that. If you like, we could do that. But as a manager, he's not that guy. As a manager, it's multi-layered. You need more than just being a nice guy. You need to be versatile in the way you talk to people and the way you talk to certain players. You need to have that ability to be ruthless as well. You need to have that ability. Right? Now, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had that ruthlessness, right, had that anger about him, you know what I mean? That I don't think he has. I think he'll make a very, very good manager. I really do. Now, he came second in the league. I know it was a COVID league. I know we had empty stadiums, but it was a great achievement, right? But he just doesn't have what it takes to get over the line, in my opinion. Just that small thing that you need to get over the line as a manager. There's nothing I would want more than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to come in and lift that Premier League title again. Oh my goodness, it gives me goosebumps if I even just think about that happening. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing I want more than this, guys. Absolutely. Good morning, Hayden. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. The only gaffer I'm taking back is Sir Alex. Absolutely not good to go back. Sir Alex, of course, probably isn't well to do the job at the moment. But you know what I mean? Imagine bringing Sir Alex back. Goodness me. No, this team. Goodness me. I think he needs his retirement. I think I'll let him during his retirement. Composer of you agree? Absolutely. If Ten Hag actually uses his potential, we know he can shut Pep Guardiola as well, just like Ole. Ole was very good with Pep Guardiola. Ole had a very good record against Pep Guardiola. Let's not forget. But you know why Ole had a good record against Pep Guardiola? Because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer only knows how to play one way. And what is that one way? Counter-attacking football. He plays counter-attacking football. And this is where the problem arises with the current team. A lot of these players are used to counter-attacking football. Now, when you try to change the mentality of a team and the culture of a team, and you try to move the team forward and help the team control games, technically, dominate games like we used to, it's very, very difficult to do when those players have a counter-attacking mentality. You know, it's hard to get Rashford to press when he's been sitting back and waiting for the counter-attack. It's hard to do that, isn't it? You know, so we're trying to stop playing on the back foot and trying to play on the front foot, if you know what I mean. This is what we're trying to do. And hopefully Erik ten Hag can implement this well. I hope so. You know what I mean? Time is ticking, of course. We haven't got much time. Of course, we've got about 3 games, I think, in regards to ten Hag. And he needs to prove himself this time. He needs to prove himself tenfold. You know what I mean? Tenfold. So, like you said, that is noise. No need to for threat over noise. It's only destabilizing when we get distracted by it. Absolutely corrosive. It is only news. But what I would say about it is that it's unnecessary news. And I will give my point on that news. I will give my opinion on that news. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said that he would like to come back to Manchester United. He has said that. That is an actual fact, right? So this is obviously piped up people. It's got people in the mood. It's got people all giddy and stuff like that. All those Ole Gunnar Solskjaer guys who were supporting him over the club, right? And no one's bigger than the club, of course. Mad Advance Sid, but nothing justifies draw with 20. Nothing justifies to draw against 20. Absolutely Mad Advance Sid. And this is why on the other night I was fuming. I said some things I shouldn't have said. I was angry. I had to get off the stream because you know what? I would have said something I regret, and I don't want it to come back to haunt me, of course, guys. Absolutely not. We need a coach with big experience. We need a coach like an Italian, Spanish, because it doesn't matter where they're from, my friend, because if their techniques are technical awareness of how to set up, play different systems, I don't care where they're from, as long as they do the job for Manchester United. I don't really care if they're from Spain, they're from Italy, of course. I don't really care. We've had Italian manager. We've had, who we had? Like, we've had a Norwegian manager. We've had a Portuguese manager. We've had a Dutch manager. You know what I mean? We had a Scottish manager, you know, so a German manager as well. So at the end of the day, look, I don't care where they're from, as long as they could bring us back to where we should be. And you know what? People who understand the club. We need someone who understands the club, properly understands the club. You know what I mean? 2 cup finals in the first season, another one in the second. Believe the manager we still have here come at the end of the season. 2 cup finals in the first season, another one in the second. I believe this manager will still be here come the end of the season. I hope so, Hayden, and I really do hope that he does well this season, and I hope that he proves a lot of his doubters wrong. I am pro Ten Hag. People know that. I support him, and I support the football club. But my support isn't unwavering. It isn't overzealous. I will call it out when I need to call it out. If he doesn't get the results, this is where we have our differences. If he doesn't get the results, we are not going to go forward. So obviously the manager, he's going to have to be looked at. Yes, some of those players do need to be looked at as well, because a lot of those players have been here for nearly 6-7 years, some of them 10 years. Do you know what I mean? So I would say that it is down to the players, mostly, in my opinion, not implementing the tactics properly, not being able to implement the tactics properly. But also, Erik ten Hag, as we all know, will get the blame. You know what? The buck stops with the manager. The buck stops with the manager. He is also to blame. And if he doesn't get the results on the pitch, you know what's going to happen. I firmly believe he's going to turn this around. I firmly believe that we're going to beat Spurs on Sunday. I really do. And I believe that he will prove a lot of his doubters wrong and believe these words, you know. And I really do. I really hope he does. I really hope he does, because I think he's a very, very good manager. Let's not forget that we've had great managers at this football club this last 10 years. Fantastic managers, proven winners. Do you know what I mean? You think that Van Gaal isn't a tactically astute manager? You don't think Jose Mourinho is a tactically astute manager? Ralph Ragnick isn't a tactically astute manager? You know what I mean? They're all great managers. But the thing is, we've got a problem at this football club. We've got a culture problem at this football club. And to change that culture, we have to make drastic changes. And it's going to take time. It's going to take time. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Kazi. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Morning, Kazi. Big up, everyone. Madavant says, I wonder if the Harry Maguire will end up at United legend. I mean, if United give him a new contract and his behaviour towards the fans and manager is better than any other player. Do you know what? I would say that his attitude is absolutely spot on. Harry Maguire's attitude is great. It's fantastic. He's a role model in regards to that. Footballing wise, I just don't think he suits our system. I really don't think he suits our system. Was he to blame the other night? No, he wasn't to blame the other night at the end of the day. But he did look a little bit shaky. When he plays, we don't move up the pitch effectively enough. We don't pass the ball out from the back effectively enough. He looks a bit clumsy, a bit like Bambi on ice when he's passing that ball from outside the back, you know. But his attitude, his implementation of what he wants to do, his effort is fantastic. Absolutely spot on. And he's a role model in regards to that. COVID football don't count. Absolutely. Empty stadiums don't count. Fans in the stadium is a completely different animal, as we all know. Chelsea won the Champions League in the COVID season, didn't they? The country I live in, there is a propaganda against Ole. I don't know why they have a propaganda against Ole. Ole is a Manchester United legend. They can't be Man United fans if they have a propaganda against Ole. One thing I would say about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'll call things as I see it in regards to management. I just don't think he's ruthless enough. He's not much, I would say it like this, right? He's not enough of a arse in regards to management, in my opinion. Rashford about Luke Shaw against 20 was so good. Rashford needs Luke Shaw, Mad Advances. He needs Luke Shaw. He needs that relationship on the left-back position. Absolutely. You know what? Over the years, Man United have also always had relationships on the wings. Or they've always had relationships between Beckham and Gary Neville. Of course, we all remember Beckham and Gary Neville, Dennis Irwin and Ryan Giggs. They always had that relationship. The interchanging, the overlapping runs. We don't have that at the moment. And we've always prided ourselves on overlapping runs, on attacking wing play. We don't have that at the moment because we don't have that relationship on both sides of the pitch. We need to build that relationship on both sides of the pitch to make it easier for us to create chances. Of course, the 4-4-2 did help. Spurs last night beat Karabag with 10 men, so we got to watch out not to be confident. We need to respect them, but show them we also need to be respected. Go, mate. We have to respect Spurs. Of course, they beat a plastic bag yesterday, but at the end of the day, look, you know what? Good for Spurs. We'll be ready for Spurs. I'm sure we'll be ready for Spurs. There's no excuses. There's nowhere to hide in regards to the game on Sunday. Absolutely not. No way, Jose. I don't think Ineos is hiring any one of our legends. Ruud van Nistelrooy was requested, Erik ten Hag, not Ineos, which makes sense because we wanted Ruud van Nistelrooy in the first season, but his wife refused to move to Manchester for some reason. She refused to move to Manchester because it's not sunny, probably. It's not sunny. That's why she probably refused to move to Manchester. Manchester, obviously, is not notoriously known for its sunshine, but it is a beautiful city, a vibrant city, one of the best cities in Europe, guys. So Manchester City, big up Manchester. Big up Manchester all day long. Love Manchester. Big up players holding us back will be sold. I hope so. I hope so, mate. Absolutely. Honestly, is Erik ten Hag actually a good manager? He has spent more than any other manager in United history, and the results are inconsistent in spending 600 million in 3 years, and we don't look up to him. Look, let's get it straight, Almac. He doesn't spend the money. The board spend the money. A lot of that money was spent under Woodward and Murtagh. Now, just because our ex-board members were incompetent in negotiating transfer fees, holding out for deals all the way to the end of the summer so that the transfer fees over-extortionate themselves, that is not Erik ten Hag's fault. We spent a lot of money. We spent $1 billion since Sir Alex Ferguson retired, right? Over $1 billion since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. We are very, very bad at negotiating deals. This has changed, of course, in regards to Ineos. We cannot blame Erik ten Hag for spending 90 million on Anthony. He did not go in his pocket and spend 90 million on Anthony, Almac. He didn't. It was the inept negotiating skills of our past ownership that contributed towards over-inflating prices. It was them. It wasn't Erik ten Hag. We need to look at that. He didn't spend that money on that team at the end of the day. Now, I'm going to go in regards to his comments last night. If I go straight into the comments, guys, I want to, you set me up for that one, Almac. You set me up for this one. I'm going to give you this quote from Erik ten Hag yesterday during the press conference, guys. If you read this for me, if I can get it up, of course. Here we go. Right, guys. Erik ten Hag said, this question was asked to Erik ten Hag. You've been here 2 full seasons. Now, you've had 5 transfer windows, something like 600 million spent. Given all the fans of United, given all that era, all that, are the United fans entitled to feel the team should be further forward than you currently are and playing with a more consistency? Are they entitled to feel that, right? Eric Ten Hag said, I think you have to assess the situation. We are working. We are in progress. We made a choice to sign very young players like last year, Højlund, like this year, Xerxes, like Lenny Yoro. Players who we believe in at this moment, but also for the future. So players he believes are good at this moment, but also for the future. We have to build them. When I started, we spoke about changing the dressing room. Now we have to work, and that takes time. I'm also impatient. I also want to go forward. But let's be fair. We had success in these last 2 seasons. We have to work very hard to bring in more success. How do you feel about those comments, guys? Very, very telling comment. That very, very telling comment. I tweeted it out this morning. Very, very important. Of course, Manchester United have signed a lot of young players, and Manchester United are moving forward for the future now. You know, so we do have to remember that Rome wasn't built in a day. You know what? We bought ready-made players in the past, right? We have, and you know what? Our culture at our football club, in particular when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer left the football club, we had a lot of problems at Manchester United, of course. And this took time to fix. And we're building a team for the future. We have to acknowledge this. We do have to acknowledge this. In regards to we need to be clinical, Ten Hag said not scoring goals enough. That is a problem. That is the key area. I agree. We have to score goals as a team. I think across the team, we have the ability to score. This is clear. When you see all the opportunities we are creating, we are not scoring enough. Absolutely correct. We're not scoring enough goals. We do need to score more goals. And hopefully that will start on Sunday, of course. It will be dynamic. I think we will be a very intense game. It always is against Tottenham. And I think it is our style as well. So I think it's going to be a very dynamic, attractive game. Yeah, Tottenham is a big game, of course. Must win, in my opinion. High levels are needed, of course. Every opponent has a strength and weaknesses. And Tottenham have their strengths in their philosophy. It's very clear. Very attacking. They are very attacking. They also leave space. That is what we need to take into account. That can maybe help. But, you know, you have to be very good against Tottenham. We want to control the game. And you need to have high performance level. What I recreate again, I am. Absolutely. So basically, yes, he obviously has the ambition to control the game against Tottenham. Tottenham play a very high level, high line for life, mate. High line for life. They play a very high line, and he feels that we can counter that. Absolutely, we have to be wary that Tottenham might change their style a little bit. Obviously, he has mentioned it in a press conference. So Postecoglou could be watching, you know what I mean? So we have to be wary of that, of course, as well, guys. Absolutely, absolutely. Bruno will prove himself again. In regards to Bruno, obviously he's had a lot of criticism this week. He said, I think he is capable and he has proven himself already in so many times in the Premier League. He can also create many chances. I am convinced he will not do differently. He will find his form. He is already creating chances, but he will make the final passes. He will score goals 100% and it is just a matter of time. So a matter of time for Bruno plays, of course. Hopefully he performs on Sunday, of course. We really do need him to perform. We cannot accept any more below par performances from our talisman, of course, our captain. We have turned a corner, says Ten Hag. I think we have to access the situation. Still now we are working and we are in progress. We have to sign players and we make the choice to sign very young players like last year, Højlund and Xerxes. Yeah, exactly what I said earlier. I spoke the quote earlier in regards to his press conference. That is a very key thing, of course, guys. In regards to being hungry, he said, I think every team has to I think every team has this in this season. I think every team has this in the season. It's hard to pronounce. Eric Ten Hag's obviously a native tongue. That is when you play 60 games. Sure, there will be games where you are not happy with the performance, but you are not happy when the opponent wants it more. That is in regards to 20 the other night, of course. I think that it is the philosophy, psychology side of football and top football. The team that can manage the best is the most successful. And we are ambitious, so we always demand from yourself that You have more hunger than the opponent. So basically talking about the other night in regards to, obviously, FC20, that we were not hungry enough, of course, in regards to the game, and we drew the game of goals. A lot of people were saying that FC20 looked more hungry than us, which was disappointing, as we know, very, very disappointing. Good morning, everyone. Let me just read through some of your comments, of course, guys. Right, composed view. I don't think Ineos hiding anyone. Yeah, I think I read that one. Absolutely. Players are holding us back and will be sold. Yeah, I think I read that one. Big up, big up. Honestly, is Eric Ten Hag yes, I think I read that one as well. Responded to that one. Big up, big up. Mad Advance said, why City fans are so toxic and why you and when you call them glory hunters, they get angry because it's the truth. Mad Advance said, when you call them glory hunters, it's the truth. I beg any one of those so-called Manchester City fans to post a picture prior to the takeover from Abu Dhabi in a Manchester United shirt. In a Manchester United shirt. I beg them to do that. I guarantee you, 1% would be able to do that because they weren't Man City fans. They're glory hunters. They were probably Chelsea fans before that. They're like that, isn't it? You know what I mean? My goodness me. They don't know nothing about Man City. You know what I mean? And the thing with Man City, they're a fabricated club. They ain't got no history, really. Do you know what I mean? And this is what makes me irks me even more. Yes, a lot of people supported Manchester United back in the 90s because we were successful. In the turn of this century, we were successful, which is why a lot of people started supporting Man United. But Man United actually had a history. Man United had the Busby Babes. You know, Man United won the European Cup in 1968. So at the end of the day, you couldn't blame people for starting to support Man United because heritage. Man City don't have heritage, of course. Composed view. Everton is a good manner. It's just that United have a lot of problems and a lot of impatience to change things. We forget how bad it was on Oli as a manager when Mourinho was a manager. Absolutely composed view. Agree with that wholeheartedly. At the end of the day, people have a short memory. You know what? People have selective memory, I would say. It's a selective memory. We were terrible when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer left. The fan base was toxic. It still is to this day in regards to recovering from the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer period. When Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was manager, those players were having a holiday. They had a holiday. Counter-attacking football, relaxing, sitting back, going for the counter-attack. That's what they used to do. You know, we didn't have dominate games. We were never on the front foot. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Amak, please, no contract extension for Maguire. We need to pull players at the back. I agree, Amak. I don't think we should be giving any more contract extension to any one of those players. Lindelof, Maguire, Luke Shaw, of course, no chance at all. This is the last contract for these guys, in my opinion, if we want to move forward. Ole is at the wheel. Tell me, how good does it feel? Yeah, absolutely. I sang that as well, mate. I'm not going to lie. Maguire isn't getting a contract extension, neither a Luke Shaw and Lindelof, except none of them. I think under this new regime, under Ineos, none of them are going to get a contract extension. Walaikum salam, guys around me. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Some of these players at United are new. I don't think they realize when teams play United, it's like a cup final for them, and they go hard. Our players need to take every game like a final. Absolutely, we need to take every game like a final, and we need to start on the front foot. I've realized recently that we start very slowly. We start slowly at the beginning of the game. We start slowly at the start of the second half, usually, which is a bit concerning. We need to start games on the front foot, and we need to dominate from the first minute going forward, in my opinion. That's all. Big up, Kenny. Big up yourself. Thank you for joining me this morning, my friend. But Ten Hag has been backed this season. He has been backed, yeah. Look, I'm saying, Kenny, look, you know what? This whole thing, you know, I said it earlier, we cannot be overzealous. We cannot be Ten Hag FC. We got to call it as it is. This is the third season. You know what I mean? We cannot be like overzealous and over supporting. We have to call it critically. And you know what? We don't want to have any agendas. We just want to call the football match how it is. Then we're going to call the mistakes how they are. You know, and that's how we got to do things at the end of the day. If Ten Hag doesn't produce on the pitch, this is his bread and butter at the end of the day. We have to call it for it as what it is. Tottenham's a massive game, of course. Don't forget, guys, I'll be doing my watch along for Tottenham Hotspur later on Chatterbox. I'll be doing the match preview and going through the teams, the lineups that I think, and the danger men, of course, and predictions for the game, of course, guys. Everybody laughed at Chelsea buying young and overpriced players. Now we see what's happening. A season or two, they'll be challenging. They play some exciting football. They should play exciting football, David. But at the end of the day, they haven't really played anyone. When they did play a good team, they lost easily against Man City, didn't they? Let them play someone of half decent, then we'll see how they are. But in regards to their players, well, anyone could do well if they spent $1 billion in less than a year, haven't they? $1 billion in less than a year. We spent $1 billion in 10 years. Do you know what I mean? Kenny, agree, mate. Absolutely. Ineos don't spend crazy on players. They look for fair prices. Let's talk about money shouldn't be on the manager. Absolutely, Hayden. I absolutely concur with that. The money should never be on the manager. This is a stick to beat Erik ten Hag with in regards to Erik ten Hag out personnel, of course. And this is a stick to beat him with. Obviously, he didn't spend that money. He did not auction the money. He did not sanction the money for those players. He wanted those players. He has a transfer list. It's up to those people in charge to get the best deal possible. Now that Ineos are here, we hopefully should be getting the best deal possible. And the way things have been going recently, it bodes well because we have. You know what I mean? Xerxes players like that, we got a discount. Look how cheap we got De Ligt for. De Ligt was half the price of Harry Maguire, guys. Matthias De Ligt, half the price of Harry Maguire. Run the lights and please on the subscribe button. Thank you, Kazi. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm literally 20 away from 4,000 subscribers. Can you guys get me over the line? Can you do it? Can we do it? Most of you have subscribed to the channel already. 81 watches. Those who haven't subscribed, please, could you kindly subscribe to the channel? That'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you, guys. And Matt, Merton Arnold aren't solely responsible for spending because Erik ten Hag has a veto power for every transfer. He approved every transfer inwards and upwards. He doesn't sign the checks, Matt. It's the Glazers who sign the checks. It's the Glazers who sign the checks. He gives Merto and Arnold, he gives them a transfer list. I want these players, right? It's up to those, Merto and Arnold, to sanction, to get the best deal out of the clubs. To get the best deal. Now, you ask yourself, why did we get De Ligt for 45 million? Why did we sign Harry Maguire for 80? Why is that? Why is that? Is that because of the manager? Or is that because of the inept negotiating skills and incompetence of Merto and Arnold? We know what it is. Come on. It's not down to... he's not a finance guy, Erik ten Hag. He's not the guy with the money. He's not the one with the money. He's not supposed to be. You know what I mean? He's a manager. You know, he's a coach. He's supposed to be getting the best out of the players. He's not meant to be negotiating transfer fees. You know what I mean? The board, he gives them a transfer list and he says, I want these players. Could you get these players? Do you know what I mean? And they do it. It's up to the board to get the best deal possible. What we spend, you know what I mean, is nothing to do with him at the end of the day. Hayden, Ineos don't spend crazy money on players, so I look for market opportunities so player prices can be put on the manager. Absolutely. And things are starting to change. And as you can see now, the way we were run, in the past, we were run ineptly, you know, incompetently. We were run very badly. Now you can see the change. Is that because of Ten Hag as well? Is things changing because of Ten Hag? It works both ways, doesn't it? Is Ten Hag getting the best deal? Did Ten Hag manage to get De Ligt's price down to 45 million? You know? Previous regime took their time, like right at the end of the transfer when the price was absolutely Kazi. And Kazi, the thing is, and when you do that, we are desperate, isn't it, Kazi? When you wait until the end of the transfer window, what happens? We become desperate. We become desperate. We end up light in regards to the squad. So we get into desperate survival mode. It's like being backed into a corner, survival mode. And then we just splash out money on any player, on ridiculous amounts of money, like we did for Laney, like we do in Mata. These type of things, do you know what I mean? We splash huge amount of money on them. You know, like Maguire, we splashed huge amount of money on them because of the board. We cannot blame this on Erik ten Hag. Look, at the end of the day, as Jim Ratcliffe said, as Ineos said, Ten Hag last season was fixing the roof as well as coaching the football team. You know what I mean? We need to realize that Erik ten Hag is a coach, he's a manager, and he manages the football team. The rest of it is down to them and the board, of course. Scouting players and coaching players are different. Yeah. At the end of the day, we have a group of people there now who have been scouting the players. They've been doing very well, haven't they? You know, it's been doing well now because we got competent owners now, haven't we? We got a competent structure. Now we're starting to get great young players through the door. The future through the door. Do you know what I mean? Euro through the door. Didn't go to Real Madrid, went to Man United, guys. Do you know what I mean? That is what a difference is between competent ownership and incompetent ownership, of course. Slow tempo repetition planning is on the manager. He needs the team to be on the front foot. Yeah, this is one thing, Kenny, I would say, and I would agree with. If I was to criticize Erik ten Hag, it is the pace of the build-up. And slow repetition, of course, is a problem at Manchester United. Passing out from the back and you know, overturning the ball to the top, to the attacking half of the field is a bit slow, in my opinion. We give the opportunity to the opposition to reshape, right? And this shouldn't be, this is not Manchester United. Manchester United have always been about crisp passing, one-touch football, making overlapping runs, doing the wing play, pressing, bringing the ball forward, not scared to take the ball, not scared to shoot, not scared to create chances, not scared to cross, that sort of thing. At the moment, we treat the ball like a hot potato. When we get into the final third, we're too scared to shoot. Like, you shoot. No, you shoot. After you. That sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Thanks, Kenny. David, I agree. Coaching and scouting are two different roles. Erik ten Hag should no longer have veto power over transfers. He should be relegated to the coach only. He is already, which you can see with Ineos. He's not responsible for that, but he is not responsible for the transfer fees. That is wrong. I mean, that is just like, that's just beating him with a stick, for just sake of beating him with a stick. Yes, his transfers were some of them were questionable. Now that has been taken away with him from Ineos. That has slightly. We have a team now, including Ten Hag. We have obviously Brailsford, we have Wilcox, we have Jim Ratcliffe, of course. Do you know what I mean? We have Ashford and Ten Hag. So we got a group of people who all agree on the transfers, which is fantastic now. It's something we haven't had in a while, isn't it? Now we have to give this whole structure, a chance to implement itself. That's what we have to do. We have to give it a chance. Now we know that if Erik ten Hag doesn't get those results on the pitch, we know what's going to happen, isn't it? We know he's not going to last. We know that, so let's see what happens, guys. Now we have people in charge who do exactly that. It's Erik ten Hag chooses the opposition so that they have access to players. Absolutely, David. This is the point. Exactly. He will say, I need a left back. I need a CDM. I need a striker, for argument's sake, hypothetically speaking. He will do that. And then Ineos, or the structure of Brailsford, of Rashford, of course, Wilcox, they will go out and find the best, the next up-and-coming one. Now, it's not about buying set and ready players. Jim Ratcliffe already said about Mbappe, he said, look, you know what? Why are we going to buy Mbappe? Why don't we make our own Mbappe? And this sort of thing resonated with me. This sort of thing took me aback. I said, do you know what? He's right. He's right. Why don't we do that? And I absolutely agree with Jim Ratcliffe in regards to that. I do. And we are doing that now. And we are building for the future. And this is why it's imperative that we have patience. We have to have patience, guys. Look, I myself, I get frustrated. I get angry. You know what I mean? I get annoyed. But at the end of the day, we have to take a step back and we have to have patience, guys. It's very, very important that we do have patience and we give this whole structure a chance to reap its rewards, so to speak. Where are the lights, guys? Come on, guys. Don't forget to smash a like. Thank you so much, guys. You legends. Thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe. I need at least 20 likes on my streams, guys. At least 20 likes. Come on, smash the like. It doesn't take nothing. It's easy. Just press like, guys. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Hayden, the club want to will win the league by 25. Thoughts on whether this is realistic? I think before that, Hayden, in my humblest opinion, I think we'll win the league before that. I do, Hayden. I really do. I think we will. We just have to be patient. And we just have to believe this, because what I'm seeing right now, I'm seeing a complete culture change at the football club in regards to behind the scenes. And obviously this will take time to show its beautiful self, of course. It does take time to get results. It does. But when eventually the structure resonates onto the pitch, that is when we're going to see results. I've seen it myself under Sir Alex Ferguson, Peter Kenyon and all these guys, of course. I've seen it. And at the end of the day, it does. It ends up happening. And all you need is that one season for it to click. You need that one season for it to click. And when it does click, when it does eventually click, you will see it. And then obviously winning trophies and major trophies, Premier League trophies, is a habit, of course. Good morning, Garrett. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Big up yourself. My legend, Garrett, of course. Positivity in the house. Big up yourself. You can make excuses for dollars. However, Everton identified the wrong transfer targets, even ignoring the dollars. Casemiro and Anthony were bad transfers. At the end of the day, Casemiro was a panic buy. It wasn't his first buy. Anthony obviously was worth 40 million. And we have to put that on the shoulders of Erik ten Hag. Absolutely. And I do that, Almac. I do. Thankfully, he doesn't have control over the transfers now. We have a team of people who have control of the transfers. So that is very, very good, of course. Yes, he's made mistakes. Yes, there were some good signings in there. Let's not forget he brought through Mainu. He brought through players. He's nurtured Garnacho. Let's not forget that as well. Rasmus Højlund is going to be a fantastic striker. I firmly believe that. He's fantastic as well. Let's not forget Licha Martinez. He was a fantastic signing. He's a great player. Let's not lie to ourselves. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We have to give it a chance. We have to balance it out with the positive and the negative. He's not perfect, but he's also not 100% at fault, is he? At the end of the day, we have to look at it like that, guys. We are not too bad. We just need those goals to come. The goals will come. Hopefully, Rasmus Højlund will be back. I do want to see Xerxes and Rasmus Højlund play, but I doubt they will play at the end of the day. Don't forget, at 2 p.m. UK time, I will be giving my review for the Tottenham Hotspur game. I will also be doing a watch-along on Sunday for the Tottenham Hotspur game, so I hope you all can join me for that. That would be absolutely fantastic, guys. But yeah, one thing is for certain, and one thing we draw a line under, right, is that we need results on the pitch. Forget everything in between and this, he signed this, he spent this. We need results on the pitch. And the best way for us to be positive, for us to carry on being enthusiastic is by results on the pitch, of course. That is what matters the most in regards to football. That's all we care about at the end of the day. All that, when I used to support Man United, when I supported Man United during the 80s and the 90s, I used to only care about football. I only cared about what's on the pitch. We didn't care about, CEOs and this and that. Obviously, football has changed a lot since then. But I just want to see results on the pitch. Now, what I see at the moment is Ineos are doing a very, very good job in bringing through the next in class and bringing through great young players, in buying young players abroad, players we haven't heard of, which is very, very good and very exciting, of course. When you're buying players that you haven't heard of, you're purchasing players from Mali and places like that, that shows actual scouting excellence, and I want this excellence to show its beautiful face on the football pitch. That's what I want to see. And eventually we will see excellence on the pitch. We still have players who shouldn't be there. The one thing I will pick on Erik ten Hag is that some players shouldn't be playing, right? And some players should be rested when they should be rested. Now, we have a very, very good squad now, in my opinion. Yes, we lack a left back, in my opinion. We probably lack a proper 30-goal a season striker. That's what we lack, in my opinion. But we are getting there. And we have to give it a chance to unfold. You know what I mean? Let's not just shut it down early, guys. I said myself, I'm going to give it the Tottenham game. I'm going to give it the Porto game. I'm going to give it the Aston Villa game. And probably the Fenerbahce game as well. And then we'll see where we are in regards to in the league, in regards to the Europa League as well. We'll see where we are after that. The one thing I would say, you know what I mean? Let's get behind it for now. If it doesn't work, we have to call it as it is, of course, guys. Of course. We need more likes, guys. This is wild. Thank you so much, Hayden. Thank you very much. We need more likes. Absolutely, guys. Please smash a like on the video. It'd be very, very appreciated if you guys could smash a video on the on there. If I could just retweet it again, maybe we'll get more likes, guys. I got my Twitter is a mad thing, as people know. My Twitter is where I get all the all my people come, of course, from Twitter, guys. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Please smash a like, guys. Don't forget. Of course, I'll be here later for not the watch along, but for the preview of the Tottenham game, of course, guys. Absolutely, absolutely. Guys, thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate it. Now, look, I know it's been a lot of negativity. I knew that this week would be negative. I knew that we would be debating amongst ourselves what is, what isn't, of course. Do you know what? We have to understand. Yeah, here I am. I'm back. We have to understand that some things do take time. And I'm going to say it like this. I was very frustrated against 20. We should beat FC 20. For me, the season starts against Tottenham. For me, the next game. It's all about the next game. If we don't beat Tottenham, I think we need to get 7 points out of the next 3, in my opinion. I think we do. 7 points minimum. Preferably, we need 9 out of the next 3. We have to win those games. Only if you get results on the pitch are we going to start being positive. I'm always, obviously, I call things as they are. I call things partially, of course. I call things straight down the middle. I don't have any agendas. I don't have any bias. I don't have anything. I'm Manchester United through and through, and that's how I will always be. At the end of the day, what I care about, what I think about the most is results at the end of the day. It's about results. Of course, we need luck as well. We should buy Palacios. Palacios is a great player. Of course, I'll buy Leverkusen. Very, very good player. Of course, guys. We can, but we need to start scouting and putting people in place, starting with the coach and putting players in the positions that they can play in a system that they know. It won't be easy, but we need to start now. I agree, David. I agree. You know what? I said it before, is that we do need to start playing players who deserve to play. We need to start playing the best team. The one thing I would say, we need to start playing the same team over and over again, the best team over and over again, so that team can get used to playing with each other, of course. Recently, we haven't been doing that. Over the year, we haven't been doing that, of course. So, can I join a watch along? I need some peace for the Thursday. Absolutely, Kenny. Of course, you can join a watch along, my friend. Of course, the watch along is on Sunday. Of course, yeah. Join me for it. Of course, we'll be live. Of course, at 7 p.m. UK time on Sunday, guys. It's already up, guys. Absolutely. Of course, you can join, Kenny. My pleasure. Do you think Spurs or Aston Villa will be tougher game? Which is better? The toughest game is going to be Aston Villa, in my opinion. Mac, it's going to be a very tough game against Aston Villa, and this is what I love, because this represents a test, doesn't it? This represents a test for Erik ten Hag. It's not the hardest test, but it's not the easiest test. Aston Villa represents a tough test. You know what I mean? And if we go and beat Spurs and we go and beat Aston Villa, mixed in between Porto, then we can hold our hands up and say, look, he's got good results there. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the momentum. But if we don't beat Spurs, we draw or something like that, we don't beat Porto, we lose to Aston Villa or draw against Aston Villa, then you're going to have to start questioning it, isn't it? And even myself, I said, after the next, I think 4 games, I will give it and I will make my analysis and I'll give my judgment after those 4 games. I will. But I'm not going to jump at the moment, because I still think it is very early in the season and we have to be patient in regards to that, in my opinion. If we can be patient, that'd be fantastic. But I'm not going to be overzealous. I'm not going to be Ten Hag FC. I'm going to call it as it is. It is still early and I'm being very, very patient. Do you know what? Every bit in life, in life, we have to be fair. We have to be fair. And in life, we have adversities. We go through adversities ourselves in our own personal lives, of course. And we always feel that we deserve a chance. We're human beings at the end of the day. And we have to give Erik ten Hag a chance this season. And let's give the team a chance to gel. Let's give the team a chance to gel and let's see what happens. Yes, we should have beaten 20. And that is a bad blotch on Erik ten Hag. We should have beaten FC 20. But one thing I would say about FC 20 is that any team that played on that pitch the other night should have beaten FC 20, right? They should have. Now, do we put that to the players as well? It's not just Erik ten Hag. It's to do with the players as well, isn't it? The players do have something to blame as well. Erik ten Hag is not exclusively exclusive to Erik ten Hag, of course. It's not just him. It is the players as well. We need to look at them and we need to call it as it is, that the players are not performing. Rashford wasn't running at his defender enough. You know what I mean? We weren't doing enough. As a team, we weren't doing enough. Tactically, I would say, if you want to talk tactics, I think we need to change these tactics. I do believe that Erik ten Hag needs to change the tactics. I think we should play the double pivot. I do. I think we should move on from Bruno, in my opinion. Keep Bruno for the odd game here and there, but move him on eventually, because he is getting on and he looks a bit slow. He looks a bit sluggish. Whether we keep him on the bench for a while or just rotate him, I think we need to do something, because it's not working, guys. Remember, Bruno didn't play against Barnsley, United 3, Spurs 1. My score as well, Brian. We're like 2 psychic people. We know each other inside out. At the end of the day, I said 3-1 as well. Yesterday, of course. Big up. I hope so. Hi, Sal. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Jim. How you doing, you legend? Good to see you. Absolute diamond, you. Good to see you, mate. How you feeling? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope everything is good with you and everyone in between, all your family and friends, of course. Shah, what we have now, totally useless play like a snail. We play too slow. Absolutely, Shah. I completely agree with you. And that is constructive. We do play slow. And this needs to change. It starts from the back. It starts from Onana. Onana gets the ball. He stops on the ball. He looks around. He hesitates. And that's what we shouldn't be doing. You hesitate that split second, you will lose the ball. You will end up losing the ball. And the other team, the opposition team, will all reorganize and they'll get themselves back in shape. Now, if it was an Olympic sprint, you know what? What's the difference between first and second in the 100-meter sprint? What's the difference between first and second? Fine margins, isn't it? Fine margins. Now, you hesitate one on that football pitch because you're playing against a Premier League football team. You're playing against international footballers as well. Remember, these players are international footballers as well. They're good players as well. So what's the difference between winning and losing? It's that fine margin, isn't it? Now, if you hesitate on the ball, that split second, that is when they're going to get the chance to get you. You have to be assertive. You have to be confident on the ball. You have to be 2 steps ahead. Why was Paul Scholes a world-class player? Why was Paul Scholes a world-class player? Because he was 3, 4, 5 passes ahead of everyone else. And this is why people like Iniesta and Xavi modeled their game around Paul Scholes, because of this. best midfielder, English midfielder of all time, in my opinion, along with Brian Robson and Bobby Charlton. Sanjay, see you later. Sanjay, big up yourself. See you later, my friend. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hayden, Manchester United will soon be great again. Absolutely believe in that, Hayden. I believe in that we will. We are sleeping giant. We've got one eye open. Let's not forget, when the beast is about to awaken, we will be back to the top where we belong, guys. Absolutely. Jim Foster, Brian Almack, big up everyone in the chat. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. Legend. Of course, big up everyone. Of course, friends and family. The question is, are we good enough to beat Spurs? Yes, we are good enough to beat Spurs. Look at our team. Look at their team. I'm going to give you later on, David, I'm going to give you a rundown of their team. I'm going to give you a rundown of our team. Our team is better than theirs. By far better than theirs. Big up, Brian. Big up everyone, of course, in the chat. Big up everyone, you legends. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. I would love to see Hoyland up front and Xerxes behind in number 10, Bruno. Please arrest. Garrett, I completely agree with you. You speak my language, my friend. That is exactly what I want to see as well. I think it's heaven sent that we have Xerxes behind Rasmus, but he won't do it. And this is the criticism that I will give to Erik ten Hag. It's something that Sir Alex Ferguson would have done, of course. It's something that he would have put in place. He would have done that, of course. You know what I mean? So, guys, yeah, he needs to do that. He needs to change something, of course, guys. I believe he does. And you know what? He needs to do it quickly because you know what? Time is running out, of course, guys. Time is running out, as we know, guys. So he does need to do that quickly. He does need to move everything quickly. And he does need to change the team a little bit. Change it up a little bit. Stop playing the same team. Stop it. Have we ever thought that these players just might not be capable of performing anymore? You know what I mean? We have to look at that as well, isn't it? Envilla. What's that, Envilla, David? What's that, Envilla? Is that Tottenham? David, do you think Onana is the long-term keeper? His position seems dodgy. De Gea would have so. Do you know what? If I speak hypothetically, what do you think the results would have been if we had David De Gea as a goalkeeper this season? Very, very, very intriguing question, isn't it? Sliding doors and all that. Butterfly effect and all that. Where would we be if David De Gea was still the goalkeeper of Manchester United? Where would we be if David De Gea was still the goalkeeper of Man United? Where in the league would we be? You know what I mean? How many results would we have got which we didn't get under Onana? Now we can say that, maybe we wouldn't have won the FA Cup, maybe we wouldn't have got to the FA Cup final. It's difficult, isn't it? It is difficult to say. You know what I mean? But I would say that David De Gea would have saved a lot of those shots, definitely, I would say. Will we be better? I can't say. I'm not Mystic Meg. I know I look like Mystic Meg, but I'm definitely not Mystic Meg. I'm definitely not David Blaine. If we don't beat Tottenham, we go again. We have to at least try and beat Tottenham, guys. We have to. But if we don't beat Tottenham, we need to get a draw in that game and play excellent football. Excellent football. And we have to beat Porto, that means, because we cannot afford to. This is what we get when we don't beat Crystal Palace, when we don't beat Brighton. The pressure is on, isn't it? The pressure is on. Eriksen playing good, but only for 45 minutes, not 60. Agree, Garrett. Agree that we do need to rest him. He's played, 3 games in a week now? We need to rest him. Okay, Jim, got to visit my son in Oswald. Thanks for asking. Hope your son is well, Brian. I hope everything is okay with you and your family, my friend. Really hope so, of course. My prayers are with you, and I hope that your family are blessed and your son is blessed, my friend, hopefully. Do you think Paul Scholes' criticism is fair and overly negative? Overly negative, my friend, because he works for the same people that Gary Neville worked with, Rio Ferdinand worked with. I know that they seem like they have independent fan channels, but they are run by Sky and things like that. And as we know, Sky have an agenda against Manchester United. Now, they are employed by Sky. I'm disappointed with Paul Scholes because Paul Scholes always kept his head down. He never used to speak when he was a player. Of course, as we all know, he used to be very quiet, rarely did interviews, after-match interviews and stuff like that, pre-match interviews. Now he seems to have saved all those words, and now he's starting to speak a lot. I don't agree with everything he says. I don't. He's entitled to his opinion, but I think he's overly exaggerated, and he doesn't help. He doesn't help the cause. I would say that he needs to criticize the players that deserve to be criticized, the players that have been there for years. Don't criticize De Ligt, who's played for Bayern Munich and Juventus, of course, who's just signed. And for me, De Ligt has been playing very, very well since he signed for Man United. Stop criticizing players, you know what I mean, when you don't know them. You know what I mean? We consume a lot of football. We're Man United fans. We consume a lot of football, guys, as we know. We are committed to Manchester United every single day. We watch every single game. We watch every single minute. And we're talking about Man United every single day. So Paul Scholes, although he played for Man United, don't get it twisted. He doesn't watch as much Man United as we do. He doesn't watch as much football as we do. Jim, you're right, Sal. Eric is not on the field playing. It's the players. They have the huge responsibility. Absolutely, Jim. Eric puts those team out. Yes, he makes mistakes. Of course, it is multi-layered, but everyone makes mistakes in regards to the coaches. The crowd don't cheer enough, whatever you want to say. Now, at the end of the day, the players on the pitch should have enough about them to defeat FC20, even if they played 1-5-5. Do you know what I mean? They should have enough to beat FC20. Thanks, Al. Bless you and your family. Also, thank you, Jim. Bless you, my friend. Very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. It all boils down to Man United as well, doesn't it? How our weekend turns out. First win, second gets nothing. Absolutely. That's what I believe. You know what I mean? We need to go for it. Our style, no style. Our system, no system. No, I can see we have a hard day's work against both teams, but let's hope we are Man United. We can beat Spurs. Let's home. Let's be confident about that. The second score going Man United. Absolutely, David. I love that comment. This is what we need to do. We need to be confident. We need to forget about what's happened in the past and let's concentrate what's happening on Sunday. Eric Ten Hag is not going to get sacked. So why are we criticizing him so much until ahead of the Tottenham game? Let's wait and see the Tottenham game. Let's see if we can win that game. If we can win that game, we move. At the end of the day, football is multi-layered. Do you know what I mean? Life is multi-layered. Life is difficult. Life is strange. Things don't always work out how we want it to work out, but we have to give ourselves the best chance for it to work out, of course. You know what? Will that be enough? Who knows? But we do need to try our best to beat Tottenham. If we don't beat Tottenham, don't lose the game. And hopefully we perform very, very well and we almost win the game. We should have won the game. We come out of that game thinking we played very well. Our tactics were fantastic. That's what we need to do. During the Mourinho time, we finished 20 points behind City. Absolutely. People forget that, and under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer time as well, of course. H&Z Sans Bruno sounds good. Why not? Come on, Ten Hag. Big up Top Button. Love it. Big up. Absolutely. But big up the manager, of course. H&Z. Who's H&Z? What is H&Z, Hayden, Top Button, by the way? So it could be a lack of discipline, maybe if Eric's training tactics off the team, that also plays a part. Yes, they do. And you know what? We got a few players in there who are highly influential in the dressing room that have been there for 10 years, that have underperformed for 10 years. This is my main concern in regards to this football team, that we do still have some players there, of course, that have been there too long. De Gea was number one. De Gea was fantastic, underrated. Unfairly and unjustly criticised by the same Ten Hag out mob, of course. Would have been in a far better position and more points of the table. Who knows? Butterfly effect. We might have not won the FA Cup. You know, you never know, Kazi. I pray for you and your son, Brian. Big up, healing. Absolutely, absolutely. All the best, Brian. Absolutely. Big up. Blessings to Brian. Send your prayers to Brian. Big up, Sal. Great show. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much, Garrett. You too. Hopefully you can join me for later on. Next few days is pivotal. Everton hard to sit their players down and tell them the way things should be. I also follow rugby league. My team is Brisbane Broncos. Last night, the board sat the coach. Yeah, let's hope it doesn't bode for the next few days. Let's hope we beat Spurs and we have some positivity, guys. Let's go for the positivity. That's what we need to do, guys. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please don't forget to smash a like on the way out. Very important that we get those likes up, guys. Very, very important. Thank you so much for joining me. You absolute legends. I will be here later, 2 p.m. UK time, for the preview of the Tottenham game. I'll be picking the bones out of Tottenham and Manchester United, my predicted lineup, my predicted results, the key men in the game, etc., guys. Thank you so much for joining me. You are absolute legends. I cannot have done any of this without you guys. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope that you have a fantastic Friday. Thank God it's Friday. It's Friday again. Big up, everyone. Take it easy. Peace.